We're professionals, we swear.
Yep. Okay. Recording.
I propose a toast.
Your favorite podcast on your favorite game. It's on Smite.
I need a drink.
Don't we all? Welcome to On Smite. It's episode 401, the 4th season, though the last one was relatively short. We are back, finally, and we have a special guest with us today. That is Suntouch.
Yo, what's up?
There we go. That's, I like that excitement. There we go, right? So, I guess for starters, do you want to give everybody a brief overview of who you are and what you've been doing within the Smite community, how they might know you?
Yeah, I pretty much played on a bunch of pro teams, played on SK Gaming, Cloud9 when they were in the EU, and London Conspiracy. Played on a couple of seasons of the Smite Pro League. So most people know me from that and my stream. And then pretty much that's about it. And I recently kind of took a break from competitive just to focus on some kind of more IRL stuff and things like that. So yeah.
Awesome. It seems like you're streaming more. Is that kind of, you think you'd lean more to streaming and showing people how to play Smite?
Yeah, just been trying to stream Smite more like kind of rather than just as a profession where you're streaming every day to improve and like playing 8 hours a day and not really caring too much about anything. You know, you're just making sure that when I do stream, it's like, 7 to 8 hours of like a lot of information for people to kind of learn the game more.
Right.
Less so,
Very cool. If anyone has any other questions, feel free to throw them out. And we'll be going on to the next segment in just a second or two. I would also like to mention that if you want to leave any comments or questions for future shows, you can go to speakpipe.com/onsmite, and it will be an audio thing, and you can leave it, and it'll be your voice. And I won't pick up. Bitburner may pick up the phone and say hi real quick.
I might actually do that.
But you don't have to worry about like my mom coming in and picking up because, well, she doesn't live here. But
that would be a little weird, Brent.
It would be. I'd be like, Mom, what are you doing? And get on my audio thing. Anyway, I guess that leaves us to.
Hey guys, what's
Kraken?
I love that bumper. All these
Those
bumpers.
sound bits, man, are fantastic. I love them.
I know. Eric did these. He did a great job, and then he left. And well, we still use his bumpers to this day, and that's how it's gonna go. So I've been. I guess the long story short, all summer I've been getting my computer back so we could stream, and it's finally back together, pieced together, and I can actually play Smite again without it crashing on me. So I've been getting back in, trying to get to 60 on one day on everything, and played the new god. He seems fun, and he looks like an orc with blue head. It's kind of weird, but it's still fun stuff. That's about it for me. What you been up to, Joe?
I've been putting a lot more time into my YouTube channel. I broke a massive 50 subscribers, which is kind of cool for the part time that I put into it. And I had one of my videos kind of somehow people ended up getting a hold of it, but it's just short of 2,000 views now, which is fantastic. I also managed to master every god in the game, with exception to the new headless mouth god.
Right on.
And
And you changed your name in the process. You're now
changed my
Lincoln
name to
Bob.
Lincoln Bob. It's an old name I used to have from my CS days, and
When you used to stream Lincoln Log play, something like
yeah,
that.
totally. I mean, that's what I do in my spare time is I build stuff out of Lincoln Logs, and then it turned into Minecraft. And then I grew up, and then now I just play Smite all the time.
Nice. So why isn't it Lincoln Joe?
I don't know. So Bob
It doesn't roll off the tongue.
I'm sorry. I'm
Bob
asking you too
was-
many questions.
What?
I'm asking you too many questions.
That's fine. That's fine.
Look like we lost Suntouch's camera too.
I'm here.
Oh, okay.
I was grabbing the light, you know.
Oh, that's fine. I just wanted to make sure. And I guess is that about it? Lincoln, Bob, Joe, Bitburner. How you
Yeah.
been?
Yeah, that's about it. I'm done. Go ahead, Ben.
Well, I had actually weaned myself off of Smite because I was getting so frustrated with the matchmaking, and then there was an update, so I wanted to give it a chance. And yeah, somebody re-rolled the healer last night in Assault.
Oh,
So that was great.
I still can't
You know, it's
believe
been
that's
like-
not a specifically reportable offense. That should be something you can select when you're.
And and the guy was like, "Well, I don't know how to play him," and I'm all, "Well, any of us would have traded you for the healer. I mean, it's better than losing." So I don't know. That's been my experience. You know, I don't really play the 3 lane so much. I'm more of like Assault and kind of casual play. There's a reason I play casual, but it's just been really frustrating lately, and I think it has to do with everybody getting the boosts and getting up to like a higher level or messing with their ELO, so that I'm getting paired with these people that don't understand like the basics of like most of the gods, or things like re-rolling the healer. And so that's been kind of frustrating. But I love playing Smite. Don't get me wrong. I love when the adrenaline starts going, man. When it gets down to like, when you're not just kicking everybody's butt and being like, oh yeah, they're surrendering all the time. It's just like when it gets down to like, when there's 3 points left and it's, you know, the last thing. I love when it gets to that. And those are the kind of, I had a couple of times like that this last week, so it's kind of kept me going. But
Yeah, I'd rather even lose a match by 1 point than win it by 200 in arena.
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
that's just
easy.
pointless.
yeah, there's
Yeah,
been a
I'm
lot
the
of
same way.
times when the matching is still unbalanced, and then you're so far ahead that I'm like, yeah, I'm having a good game, I'm doing well. Well, then the other team just gives up, and you don't even actually get to finish the whole game because you know, you did too good, I guess. I don't know. It's just not matched.
6 at 10.
And also in Assault, you're going to hear me talk about Assault and Assault and Assault and probably Arena. But the matchmaking is kind of weird in that too. Like you'll get a team with like 4 Guardians on it, or like 3 Guardians. That's very typical. 3 to 2 Guardians every time, and so it's really weird to play lately. I don't know what they've done to change some of the things, but yeah, that's what I've been doing.
How about you,
Yeah.
Raging?
I find I usually do well in those 3 Guardian matches, and not just because I prefer Guardians, but just, I don't know. I find in Assault they're a little more useful than they are in all the other matches. That's my
Yeah,
opinion, anyway.
if you have the 3 Guardians, it's great. Those are
Oh,
always
you're talking the
teams
other
that-
team having them.
Yeah, the other team having 3 Guardians. I'm like, crap, what do we do? You know, and we have no
Play
Guardian,
better.
or the worst Guardian. I don't know.
Well, my experiences have been a little bit different than Bit in that I agreed that matchmaking was really bad for quite a while. Had a lot of issues with just really unbalanced matches one way or the other. A lot of DC people dropping off. But right about the same time as you came back, I found that got a lot better. Now, maybe that's partly because I've been playing in parties a lot more. I've been playing with our friends' team party quite a bit lately. So I found that has improved quite a bit lately. I don't know if other people would agree.
Shout out to Team Party.
That always helps.
Damn,
As
buddy.
Yeah.
long as they're evenly, you know, the ELO is kind of even between you all, which I know the people you're teaming with it is. So you know that works well. But
And then a few other things.
friends. No. I'm just kidding.
A few other things. I got my Diamond Odin, so that's Diamond number 4 for me.
Yeah.
And I'm working on Hell and Guan Yu. Guan Yu is interesting for me. Back 2.5 years ago when I started playing Smite, Guan Yu was my original main back when I was completely clueless and had no idea how to play him, and when he was still the red-faced tank. And now that I've got all my masteries and I've played through and I'm returning to him, I find he's really, really good and he fits right into my playstyle now that I finally know how to play him properly. Things like not prioritizing his 2 over his 3. Imagine that. I used to use his Warrior's Will as my main damage output and didn't even bother leveling Taolu Assault. That's what I did as a noob, so that's kind of nice. A few other things. I did have a unfortunate run-in, and Okami and Super Corey will back me up on this. We're pretty sure we ended up being matched against someone using some sort of speed hack cheat. He was playing the fastest Kabrakan I have ever seen. And that is even when his dash was on cooldown and when his Nuwa teammate wasn't throwing mist at him. He was lagging all over the place and in very convenient fashion. And I was playing Guan Yu, and we had the same base speed and the same boots. And he was outrunning me both directions, like trying to get away from me or chasing me down. And it's interesting. I've reported him. We all reported him. Last I checked, he's still playing. So I'm not sure. Apparently, High Res doesn't agree with us on that he was using some sort of cheat. But if he wasn't, I don't know how he was moving that quickly as Kabrakan.
He probably, if he overclocked anything, there's an issue with Smite when you overclock that it actually speeds up the game for you. So he could use that excuse like, oh, I did this, overclocking on my CPU and it made everything faster, and they give him another chance. But I haven't seen speed hacks except at very low level players, that are in, entry level people because they get banned so quick. So that's surprising.
Yeah, well, and the strange thing is, like, he was obviously a level 30 account to be playing with in a match against us, and his.
Well, I don't know with the matchmaking.
Well, no, I checked him out on Smite Guru, and
okay.
He was flat about my skill level until not long before that match, actually, and then all of a sudden it just ramps right up.
Yeah.
He just takes a huge spike in his elo, so. I don't know. It certainly looks suspicious, but he did play. I'm stalking him a little bit. I'm tracking his play, and he did play his first league match yesterday. So if he's using it in league, I'm guessing it will get treated a little bit quicker.
Yeah, so, I think if he's hacking or something, I mean, he'll get caught.
It'll be
he'll get his in the end. So don't let it ruin your play.
A long time, you can just kind of feel it. You can tell when something's not right, when somebody's moving a little bit quicker and they're like, this never happens. Like it's almost like a sense,
It's weird when they're like moving really fast and then they're still hitting every ability, every auto attack, but they're moving fast. Yeah, I've had that happen probably like 4 times in the last year. So
in ranked or what? Just in casuals.
No, it was just in casuals. There was one time in ranked, but I'm pretty sure the guy was just lagging, but he wasn't hitting every ability.
So you don't see a whole lot of like speed hackers or anything like that in the ranked scene, just mostly in casuals.
No, to be honest, the ranked scene is the same people really. Like most of the time, it's probably like the same 400 people here or there. Yeah. So
10,000 accounts and it's the same 400 people.
Well, like if you play the same time of day, especially like I always play in the daytime when everyone's at work or at school, so it's kind of more of a diluted pool of people. And,
gotcha.
And then obviously they're trying to match it with masters or whatever ranking. So
what game mode do you play most often? Do you play the Conquest?
I play League Conquest. If I'm playing off stream, I actually play Siege. I really like Siege.
Yeah, Siege is fun.
Yeah, it's like just fun conquest,
Yeah,
it's faster typically.
And
right?
Now that you're not in officially in Pro League anymore, are you branching out more and playing more of those other modes, or are you still playing about the same proportion of Conquest?
I'm playing about the same. It's more like if I'm playing with my girlfriend or friends and I play Conquest casual, I'm not even trying to complain. I'm not even trying to complain, but 5 ults hit me a lot of the time. So I was getting angry at that, and I was like, I don't want to bring you guys in a bad mood, because we'd win, but I was like 0-9, and I was like, can we just, so then we just play Siege, and the Siege people seem to be a bit more relaxed with ulting me, and yeah, we normally have some pretty fun games there. Back and forth games. Sometimes we lose, sometimes we win. So it's pretty.
So, quick question about that. Incon put up a little video from when he was on a stream, and he blinked in on you, and then another person blinked in on you. Were you recording that at all, or no?
Yeah, I was streaming. The funny story is, I should have made a highlight for the Incon, because after dying 7 times, I crackened him literally 10 times. No matter who was alive, he was support. I was like, I know what he's doing. He was trying to blink freeze me, and I crackened him 10 times, and I was screaming. I was like, Incon's he's dead. He is gonna get this Kraken, and we actually won. So it was pretty cool.
And then he said, "What's cracking?" That's right. That's
Yeah,
me.
that's right. Yeah.
So who is your favorite god to play right now? I know that usually changes for most people. But
For me,
yeah.
I'm like an Anha guy. You know, I like playing Anha. Just fun character. You have like a lot of different plays. You can like stun people. You can push them away. You can jump on them. You can use your ult for outplays like CC immunity. It just seems like there's a lot of different things you can do with Anha compared to like I don't know. What's a bad example? Like Shibalanke. Shibalanke seems pretty one-dimensional. You know, you just auto-attacking and then you jump away or forwards. So, yeah, just Anha's fun. And if I'm playing mid, Agni right now. Agni's fun.
I just can't do the line though. I can't line up that ult. I'm always just like behind or forward and I'm following someone and never hit him. What's wrong with me?
What, an Agni?
Yeah. Oh no. I was and her.
Gotta lead it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was pretty tricky.
I always blame it to speed hackers myself, but
But that's the thing. When everyone's speed hacking, you can't hit it.
yeah. So I just started speed hacking myself so I could keep up with them. I figured that that's the way to go. So not really. Don't ban me. Gabe's gonna ban me now. Speaking of, next week we're supposed to have Gabe on the show, and then and we got some other guests we'll be announcing as well on. After that, we didn't really get into what's cracking for you, Suntouch, though. Do you want to tell us about how your week's been going? If any cool videos people should be looking for, streams, or anything?
I've been doing some guides on my YouTube. So there's a few I've been trying to do like a very beginner's guide to Smite because I feel like there wasn't like a resource for it. You know, most of the guides were just like Hi-Res were doing some good guides, to be honest with them, like the Know Your Enemy guides by Trent.
Yeah, those are pretty good. Yeah.
I think they were really good for like
I really like that series.
But yeah, I just think a lot of newer players, they don't really understand where to go for resource for Smite compared to other games. When I'm playing like another MOBA, they always tell me to go to this one site and it's like just full of information, and
right.
We don't really have that yet. You know, we have some websites, but they can be hit or miss, and yeah, so just trying to build some YouTube stuff up there, and just been kind of relaxing, streaming, stuff like that.
What's your favorite site to go to?
I think if I had to recommend people, I'd say Smite.guru.
Agreed.
I just think, the way they collect the average builds, like every time I click a character, I'm like, yeah, that's a good build. I've never like, that's bad. The thing with building is, it changes. There's not a set build per game. Sometimes they have 5 physicals if you're playing at lower level as well, for sure. People can just pick 5 physicals, and for Stone of Gaia is not a good item anymore. So, I just think that's a good website for the newer players to just go and grab a quick build. Like it.
Very cool. And where can people find your YouTube channel?
It's just Suntouch 9. Suntouch 9.
Made that nice and easy for him.
Yeah.
So
Thank you.
be sure to head over there and check out Suntouch's new videos. It sounds like it's going to be a really good series. And does anybody have anything else we want to talk about in what's cracking? We got the Smite World Champion tickets on sale. Are they still on sale? Are they sold out? Last I looked, there was like 1,000 or so or something.
Yeah, last I looked, they were still. I have my tickets booked already, both for the event and my plane tickets, so I will definitely be there.
You plan to go, Suntouch?
I can't afford the journey. It's a bit too far away, and with the ticket price, hotel prices, it's not out of reach, but it's more of for me, I want to go on a holiday, and Atlanta isn't a holiday destination for me anymore because I've been there 2 or 3 times.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with Atlanta. There's nothing, it's a nice city, but for example, if they said the World Championship was in Barcelona, I honestly go 100% because I'd be I want to go. I can spend some time on the beach alongside watching Smite, which would be the dream. But yeah.
Now you did play in the first one, right?
Yeah, I played in the launch tourney.
I think we rode on a bus with you on the way to the tournament because we were talking to your coach or team lead. I don't know, old guy or something.
Yeah, I think Yeah, I
but
can't even remember.
it was a long time
They
ago.
had like the shuttles, right?
Yeah. So that was kind of interesting. I thought that we bumped in there. Also coming up, let's see, the summer of Smite's ending. Who's sad about
Thank
that?
goodness. My God.
No one?
Nobody else will be able to buy the Hunculus skin anymore, so it won't be any more seen than it already is. Yeah, I'm quite happy about that.
I'm okay with that going away, plus that horrible Aphrodite voice pack.
Yes, I'd like to actually know if we could spend some gems and just not have to see those skins anymore.
Ouch.
Either.
Oh, wow. Pick other people's skins.
Yeah,
Like, it's what you see, right?
Go with the default skins if you've paid that. Yeah.
You pay extra to see a different skin than they have set.
Yeah, one of the things I really wanted in that was the Mesmerize announcer pack, but I didn't want to spend the money to get all the stuff I'm never going to use. So,
And I think
I feel bad. I don't do those things. I never. I've spent money.
Yeah.
I've spent like probably $200 in Smite, but
I think it is. It's a bit like I haven't seen in any other game where you have to kind of like buy 20 things to get the cool thing, you know, and like some of those things you really don't like. You don't want. It would be kind of nice for them to maybe like a premium price on the final item. So for those people that don't want to buy 20 items,
yeah.
maybe they just spend like a third of the gems that would cost to get like just the final product. Even though it would make less money for the esport board or whatever they're saving for, it's
But if more
it's a bit
people buy
steep.
that end product,
yeah, maybe
Yeah,
more.
no,
That's actually a
yeah.
good idea. I think.
I don't know. It just seems a bit steep sometimes. I'm like I hesitate myself. I'm like I don't know if I want to buy these 7 ward skins to get the Thanatos skin, but you know, and
right.
I end up doing it, and I'm like okay. And the
see-
Thanatos skin's really cool, you know.
and the problem I had with Summer of Smite was, I mean, with the Odyssey there was a lot more stuff, but a lot of it was good. Yeah, the ward skins were a
Yeah.
little much, but most of the skins that you were buying were actually really good, high quality skins.
That's
Whereas
true.
all this Summer of Smite stuff, except the On Her, of course, you know, it was all just kind of cheesy, campy summer crap that no one's going to want to use. I like the Khalees skin. I like the On Her skin. That's pretty much it.
See, and I'm kind of on the other side because I like the cheesy craps. Like the more bizarre crap I can throw in there in the game.
I kind of like the Cupid skin.
Sometimes.
That was cute. The bee skin.
Yeah.
That was a nice one.
Yeah.
It was okay for people who like playing Cupid anyway.
So I think it is. They're hitting those different demographics, like Raging, you know, hitting on the campy crap and the people who like that, and then later on they'll hit on hopefully the nice themed, you know, god skin things that you like.
Well, the new Odyssey is going to start. I mean, I don't know if you guys experience this, but when I fire up Smite, when the main lobby is first coming up, there's actually an Odyssey on the right end side of the screen that then disappears when the login rewards come up. So
Yeah.
it's obviously already seeded. They just haven't made it live yet.
Yeah.
They seeded it. That's so dirty. Why are you gonna phrase it like that? I'm just kidding.
Dirty old man.
Okay, so also ESPN's recruiting for an esports editor. I don't know anything about that, but it's in the doc, so I'm mentioning
So
it.
is that one guy going to quit then?
I don't know.
I think he already quit. He
Oh,
quit
yeah.
already.
Yeah, that's right. I think he did
Yeah.
quit already. That's
I
fine.
think I know who you're talking about. The guy that was like really angry about esports.
Yeah, and he's like, if esports is a thing, I'm quitting.
Yeah. He apparently quit.
He's quitting.
See you later. If poker is a sport, you know, if chess is a sport, why not?
See, and that's the thing.
Yeah.
I think poker's a great example. I'm sure that when they first started putting poker on TV, all the doubters were saying the same thing they're starting to say about esports as it's starting to creep on mainstream TV. So
Yeah.
I think they're going to be unpleasantly surprised.
Yeah. That was like the Jimmy Kimmel thing recently as well, where he was just basically insulting people that watch games. He was saying it's ridiculous that someone should watch a game, and it just like this. It's a
It's kind
really
of
ignorant.
hypocritical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like, I don't know. He's you know he likes to put his comedic spin on it, but he just came across really ignorant to me because like there's these huge tournaments. Like even from his perspective of watching someone else play a game, I get it. But even then, like watching someone play a story game, I love that. You know, I love watching my favorite streamer play through The Walking Dead. You know, I don't find the same enjoyment in playing it myself. I like watching their reactions. I like. So yeah, I don't think he really did much research in it and just kind of went in with that bullish thing, and yeah, it didn't come across.
I mean, really, there isn't a whole lot much difference compared to like, when the NFL season starts and Americans start watching football the entire time.
Yeah.
Or hand egg, as it's referred to in the Europes. But I mean, it's basically the same thing. It's just a bunch of people sitting around at a computer. To me,
Yeah,
And
yeah.
some
No,
of the-
I think it's the same.
And
We
some
don't
of the
need
TV
TV.
shows I watched over the summer, that so crappy. I would rather watch.
Well, yeah, you should ask
Half the
what's his
other-
name? When the last time his network had a hit show?
Yeah.
Well,
Like,
Like they're all in their final death throes. Like Netflix and Hulu and HBO are all going to streaming services, and they all have the best shows right now. So
Yeah.
who needs
Yeah.
TV
Yeah.
except for sports?
Yeah, no, you just, I mean, for $80, you can get you, like a Nexus player and download Genesis and Kodi and have all the TV you want for free anyway. But I'm not promoting that. I'm just saying it's a possibility. Speaking of possibilities, Sandboxer figures, any more info about this?
just that they're available. I got mine. I'm sure you can all guess who I got.
Show me.
Aries.
Aries.
Yep.
Yeah,
Oh, wow, that's huge. It's as big as
no.
your head.
yeah, it's a pretty nice figure. It's very nicely detailed. So Sandboxer's not paying us anything to talk about this. They're just awesome. So
They can.
I
if they'd
definitely
like to.
recommend them. The only downside is right now they've only got 19 of the gods available. So I
How
lucked
dare
out
they.
that Ares was one of them. They used to have 20 and one of them dropped off. So I'm not sure.
Like
which one
dropped
it
off the
was.
shelf and broke, so they took it off the list? Or
Perhaps.
they
I want a
like,
Kepri one, man. That'd be awesome.
well, that's really
Um,
cool.
Huge. It'd be huge.
Yeah, not even close yet, I'm sure.
You know what I want, and I think this would be totally easy to do, is a Smite card game like Hearthstone, where
Yeah.
your champion, your god is, one from the different pantheons, and your cards are all the
You only have 4 cards, though, for your abilities?
no,
That's
no,
pretty
cool.
no, they're
One at a
mixed in with the other cards like minion cards and what would be like a tower, you
Yeah.
put a tower out
Yeah.
there, a tower card out, and they have to destroy the tower card. And I mean, literally, the game it can build itself off the rules of Smite. I mean,
Yeah.
it can take it in your head right now to be perfect.
Well, and they're doing a bunch of other stuff. I mean, they're going back to some of their older games. They've spanned out into phone apps. They've got Jetpack. I've been playing that on my phone. It's a fun little clicker
I
thing.
didn't know that. I heard
Yeah,
about
so
the
there's-
tribes being basically relaunched in a way with a new map and some updates and
Yeah. So I still know I couldn't talk him into an MMO. Maybe he just didn't like my MMO ideas, but I tried. I thought it was something we could do. But I guess that's about that. So let's move on into. the
Actually,
next-
sorry, Brent, did you want to talk about Steam?
Do we want to talk about it now? We can talk about it now. Steam. So I saw some tweets out tonight. They were trying to get people to test some stuff on Smite going to Steam.
Apparently, it didn't work very well when they first launched it, so it's kind of version 2 now, and they're trying to test it out.
So and it's just like if we already have Smite, are we just going to basically connect our accounts through Steam somehow? So we log in through Steam instead?
you can probably re-download it through Steam.
And then I wonder if you
What we
can
had to
like
do with the tribes.
I wonder
So,
if
yeah.
you'll be able to like buy and trade gems at that point or get cards and collect those kind of things and
Honestly, the way it sounds is you're still going to be able to play Smite standalone, but you'll also be able to play it in Steam. Kind of, I think DayZ is the same way. You can play it in Steam as well as standalone. So I think that's kind of where they're aiming for. They want to try and grab as many of the Steam players as they can and get them into Smite as well.
and all the beta codes are gone. So unfortunately, you don't get baited. No one gets baited anymore.
Well, we discussed a long time ago, me and Sire actually, about a Steam integration because when a game comes to Steam, they get the kind of workshop normally like with the game. So if you're playing CS:GO or H1Z1, you can hop into the workshop and you can build, a model gun or a sticker or something. And basically, if the community upvotes it enough, they'll make it into the game. So we were saying like how cool it would be, if you could actually do what they do in Dota 2, where you pick Ares, and they dropped a sword, and you get to like use this special sword you got dropped just by playing Smite. Like free drops, and you have rare ones and common ones, and the more you play, you just get these random drops similar to CS:GO. But yeah, I think that's a long way away if they were ever going to do it. But I think it would make people want to play the game more, and it would give you a bit more personality on your characters, where you could like give different armor, different swords and stuff. But
Yeah, because they could basically just have a separate skin that you would have to buy, I'm sure. But that skin would be built to basically throw those new items onto.
But that's the thing, if they build each, part of armor, and they basically can just throw it in the workshop, and you can just add colors, you can add those viewers
cool.
in, and yeah.
How much issue does
pretty
that
cool.
potentially cause, though, with getting to the point where you have a hard time recognizing the other god? I know with some of the skins, I was up against a Zhang Kui the other day, and it was really the first time I'd seen that GI Zhang skin,
Yeah.
and I didn't even know I was in his ult. Because instead of ghosts, it's little missiles,
Yeah.
and it
I
didn't.
know
I
exactly
hate
what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
no, that I hate that.
happened to
That-
me.
I hate that so much. That's a pain.
Yeah, and hopefully
But
they'll
so
fix
here's
Being a
those
new
type of
player
things.
again, right? And not knowing what's
Oh
happening.
yeah. I mean, here's the thing with what they do. Like I said, if you guys haven't seen Dota 2, they actually just have you have the default character. It's like a very very plain model, and it comes equipped with this armor. So when you're changing the armor or the sword and stuff, it looks like the same character, rather than changing. So it's just a different way they do it. And after you finish a game, basically you have a chance you'll get a drop. Sometimes you get a chest, which will have an item. I don't know if you ever watched someone open CS:GO chests. It's a pretty big thing on Twitch where they spend hundreds of dollars to get a gun. But,
Or
yeah,
knife.
That's what we need in Smite. Yes.
yeah. I mean, it's just it's not something that
tempting.
is needed, but it's fun. Like you just to end the game and you get a drop. It's an exciting feeling because when you end the game right now, you don't really get anything, and it does add a bit more playability to the game. I think that's why people enjoy. Or you see a bit more of a player base in CS:GO and Dota 2 and stuff because it appeals to the casuals a bit more.
Yeah, like quadra kills and pentakills should drop something.
Yeah, something like that. Maybe if
Ugh.
you play 50 league games, you get like a chest
Yeah,
you can
sure.
open or something. I don't know.
That'd be awesome.
I'm just imagining the kill steal raging, which is bad enough already. You just cost me a chest.
God, yeah.
Yeah,
But yeah, that's the thing. If they're bringing it to Steam, it's like it could potentially they might be looking into doing the workshop thing, which could be pretty awesome.
yeah, and I wonder how it'll affect player base too, just all around quality of players as well as matchmaking, things like that. It'll be really interesting to see how it pans out, and hopefully it does good. I mean, hopefully it adds some good players to the game.
Yeah, I mean, Terra came to Steam, which was MMO, and it was kind of dying, and Steam reinvented it really. Like it came
Oh,
back to
cool.
life. A couple of million people came back and were playing it pretty actively, including a lot of people from my stream. Probably like 20, 30 people were playing it, and yeah, it's just I think it will bring a lot of people into the game, and then we're just gonna hope as a community, that these people enjoy the game and they stick playing it really, so it continues to grow.
Yeah, that'd be
Yeah.
cool. We'll have to see that, and I guess with that, we're going to move on to this.
Patch of the Pantheons.
Woohoo!
So, patch of the Pantheons. That's where we talk about the latest patch and what's going down. New Guardian. I don't know how Jing Tian. Is that close enough? Someone can
Yeah,
yell at me?
Xing Tan, as people call it.
He's kind of a bruiser.
Yeah,
He can do some damage, man.
yeah.
I'm seeing him as being a lot like Ares. He's going to be that kind of half assassin, half tank, with that mobility and with that ult.
I think he's Bellona meets Ares. It's like it's got the.
I was
Bellona
thinking
and
Mercury
magic.
meets Hades, but yeah.
No, whatever you want to spin on it, man.
Well, he's got damage over time, right? With his one.
Yeah.
He has two CC maneuvers, his ult and his 3,
Yeah.
right? So I mean, and he's got an escape, a double escape.
Yep.
What more
Yeah.
could you want?
Yeah.
I
He's,
mean,
I played him for the first time tonight before the show because I wanted to at least be able to say that. So I said it, and he was fun to play. I think I went 1-0 and whatever the rest was, so I didn't really get many kills, but he was a lot of fun to play, even though I don't know, he looks like a goblin, like an orc or something. That got his head cut off.
Ult is can be devastating if you can. I mean, because you can run around while you're spinning around and just like scoop up everybody. So if people get close enough, you just run through a crowd. You've scooped them all up, and you throw them, and then somebody CCs them again. Oh, dude!
So they need to make like a Shingten like ice cream parlor guy scooping people up into a big cone. Hand them to the team, let them lick it.
600 gems.
I got a quad kill in one Scylla ult because of him the other day. He picked up 4 people and threw them all, and they were all low. And I just said, "Wayapu!" and kill them all at once.
With those sound effects too, huh?
Yeah, it was awesome.
200 gems for those.
Yeah, he seems to like have a really nice team comp, especially with a Medusa or a Poseidon or any god that has like a lot of like a large AoE area. I mean, he'd probably be great with an Agni. I mean, there's lots of other good team comps you could have with this guy.
Yeah, I like that he's going to be a good initiator
too.
What?
Sorry, I like that his ult tosses the minions too. So
yeah,
like it's not even just the gods; it cleans out the whole team from the area.
Yeah, you can really like utilize it. You know, if you're like initiating onto them, you're CCing the minions, so you don't take damage with your initiation. Especially if you're like soloing him or something. It's pretty insane. If you run it with Ares, and you can actually run it with Ares and Humbats, which is just ridiculous. You probably can't survive because you can just run Ares support. You can run this character solo and Humbats jungle, and you're gonna have to like beads Aegis, and you're still screwed.
Jeez.
Yeah, and then you're forced to buy those, and so your toolkit's just screwed
exactly.
up.
Yeah, and with the blink meta, for like 4 blinks on every team, not everyone will have a beads and an Aegis, so you're probably gonna get at some point a 4 or a 5-man ult, and yeah, it's pretty brutal.
Do you think that like every new god that he'll get a buff, or I mean, a nerf like after a couple weeks? Or
I think he should get some kind of a nerf. It's hard to say where he's like broken because with these kinds of characters, even with the Khepri, you know, like everyone was saying, he's really OP, but you know, if you change the numbers down a bit, you know, he doesn't have the same initiation as Athena or a Gab or an Ares, and he doesn't really have that good of a kit to team fight with at that point. So I think they might turn down his damage numbers a little bit, maybe his regen a touch, but he's kind of okay to play around. You know, you can beat his ult pretty quick. He's not very tanky, doesn't protect his teammates that well.
right.
My common denominator in the chat said that he doesn't really see how he's good as a support, and he's really not. I mean, he's good in a solo.
Really.
He might be a decent mid laner, but I mean, really, he's a bruiser in arena, and beyond that, I mean, he really doesn't have a whole lot of supportness to him, other than just to tank up on health. But then he doesn't have enough power to do anything except throw people around and maybe stun them every now and again.
You know, I thought they might actually nerf his ult by not letting him pick up so many people at once. Like limited to 2 or 3 or something like that, instead of
or make it scale
the whole
with
team.
level.
Like literally, you could pick up the whole team.
Yeah, it seemed
And all the
really
minions.
good about zoning people out.
Yeah, and all the minions.
Because like when I was playing them earlier, it's just like you could see people just afraid that you're going to come. It was kind of like the Ares thing, right? Waiting for Ares ult to be gone. Like you can really zone out, especially in arena. You know, just keep them away from wherever.
Yeah, you step forward,
by-
they all step back, and you don't have
just
to
by
do anything. You're just controlling the fight just by being there.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's the problem. When the ones, especially the highest level, I've seen a lot more like, you know, you see the Bologna support. You know, Bologna's not a support, but then they run it with the Athena jungle, and then, yeah, but it probably is a tad broken that it can pick up 5 characters, spin them around, and throw them into one location, and then knock them up and then root them afterwards. It's a little bit much. It's I can't imagine as a new player, especially when I was new, I didn't buy beads, I didn't know what they were. I can't imagine people having so much fun. I remember getting 5-man Ares ordered into like a Kraken once, and I was just like, done for a
What
week.
just happened?
Just went back to CS:GO or whatever I was playing.
That's why when I see like if I play with some friends who are lower level, I try to play support or something. When you see somebody just racking, the Smurf just racking up new players, you're like, man, you're making these people so they never want to come back. And
Yeah,
do something else, like heal them or something.
Yeah, it would be cool if there was like a smart tooltip, where four of you get Ares pulled, and it just maybe has like a little pop up that just says purification beads. Not even like as a BM thing.
That's
Just
a great idea.
Just like if somehow the game knew you were getting killed by CC a lot, and it just said purification beads, because you don't see people buy them that much at lower level, like the newer players. I think
that's great.
I honestly think beads should almost be in the tutorials.
Yeah, I think it's so important. It's makes so much CC.
Yeah,
and when you're new, you're like, oh, meditation, cool. I can stay in lane.
Yeah.
See, that could be your #1 video, Suntouch. You would never even probably imagine it, but you could do one video on beads, and it'd be like the top Smite video ever.
Yeah, I mean, if people saw it, I just
buy them or Ares will own you.
I mean, it's kind of off topic for the patch notes, but like I said, I just feel like the problem with maybe the retention could be just that like unenjoyable factor that you don't know how to stop getting 5-man Ares sorted into a Humbat sword, and you're just like, I can't move for 10 seconds, and you don't understand why, and some people will figure it out, but some people are just like,
I go play CS:GO.
Yeah,
they need
whatever
to.
I was playing before this.
Before Smite, I'd never played anything like this before. I wasn't a World of Warcraft player. Nothing with mana, nothing. Yeah. And so everything, I didn't even know what CC meant. I didn't even know what AoE meant. I had no idea. I had no idea what anything did, or so something like that would have been amazing to have when I first started, because I literally clueless.
And it's the same thing with like on a lot of the other MOBAs too. I mean, like when I started playing League way before Smite, like Flash, like everybody has it, or at least back when I played. I don't even know what the meta is now, but like I'm like, oh, look at this mana! I get a lot of mana for this thing, or I can port to tower or something weird, and so I wouldn't buy it early, and people were like, why are you not buying? But it's how you can tell the noobs from the experienced players.
Yeah. The thing is, when you start playing, you don't really utilize your mana pool well enough, and you get out of mana a lot, and you just end up picking up meditation. I mean, I did the same thing, and I became pro. It's just how it is. But someone says in chat, they suggest
so there's hope.
I mean, you learn eventually, but
you die and you learn.
I think maybe just adding something like that in the tutorial, just like if someone uses CC, you can use beads, and they just show you, and then they know.
Yeah,
but yeah.
I will admit, the first time I got Ares pulled into a Kraken, the first thing that came to mind is, okay, I got to figure out how to not have that happen again. So it did make me be a little bit more proactive in learning, for sure.
Yeah.
So we got a lot more in the patch notes. I don't know if any of this is big news. Anything big? Anybody want to pull out of this stuff? I'll just put it in the show notes.
I'll go for it. We got the Bluestone pendant change. This is pretty significant. It's basically a huge buff on Bluestone pendant. Not that everything's competitive, but it's in the middle of an SPL season, and it's basically changing up the meta. It changes the meta a lot. So there's a lot of more gods that were unviable, which are now becoming viable, such as Sun Wukong, who was already at the very high tier. Now he's like ridiculous again, and so pretty big change, quite surprising, and not many people are that happy about it.
But it doesn't come with the health, though, right?
I don't think it has health. It has mana now instead. I think that's what they changed about it. Yeah, it used to offer mana sustain.
And adds extra damage.
Yeah.
Over something.
Yeah, it's damage over time.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. It's pretty insane for a starter item, and on certain gods, you're gonna just have a bad time, and you're gonna get poked out, and
Yeah, it seems odd to kind of change up stuff like this in the middle of the season. Like almost let the season play out, and then
they do it a lot. or like ban whole teams.
Yeah,
If you
and
believe everything you read on Twitter.
the craziest thing is, like, if you look at like a game, the amount of actives you see, and for me, if I was developing a game, I would be like, okay, there's 8 blinks, 10 purification beads in this game, and and then you look at the patch notes and you expect to see a little change to blink, and you don't. And there'll be like 1 weakening curse, and they're like, all right, well, we nerfed weakening curse now as well, and that's also been nerfed, and that's a pretty significant one. So yeah, I think the item changes this patch have been a little bit crazy. There's 3 huge ones.
Yeah.
It's Blue Sun Pendant, Mail of Renewal, and Weakening Curse. Weakening Curse has been changed from 100% to 65% healing reduction, and this just means that the healers are now really strong.
Yeah.
And not many teams have been practicing healers in the SPL. From a casual standpoint, I think it's even harder now to shut down those healers without communication. They're probably even scarier when you get like a Hela or a Afro on your casuals. It's going to be hard to stop them. So yeah, pretty big change. And yeah. What do you guys think?
What prompts those changes? Why would they make a big change like that in the middle of a season? Why would they do that?
I'm not sure. I guess they just there wasn't that many healers. There wasn't that many healers. It's hard to say where they come up with the. I mean, if they're not basing it off like the higher level, if they're just looking at the numbers across the board, maybe they're looking at healers win percentages across all casual games, and they're seeing, Aphrodite, Hell, their 20% win ratio, and they're like, okay, we need to change that. Maybe they're focusing more on the community rather than even thinking about SPL, which I think is fine. I don't think everything should revolve around the SPL.
That's a good point.
But the game does revolve around conquest. So
that's the thing. I mean,
yeah.
It sucks to say it, but even if you don't even like playing conquest, some people just watch the SPL, and I don't know. It's part of how the games grow currently. Is you got to have that competitive side and have those big tourneys, and you want to see the best teams get through that have been putting the time in, sacrificing their stuff, and not just get kind of like, oh, here's a massive change. Good luck in your game 2 days later.
You're pros, you can handle it.
Healers,
so you mean like the nerf to Heartseeker?
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing is, it can be rough. It can also be exciting, so it depends on your standpoint. Sometimes it's exciting. You're like, oh, maybe Epsilon will lose a game now, but probably not.
That's like it's like in football if they're just like, this week you can't use the ball, you can't touch it.
They didn't reduce Adapting's damage by 50%, so we're probably not going to see any change to the EU scene.
When you're running around as a Willix, I mean, there's not much damage reduction you can do. But I mean, it's nice to see when they make these changes, to see how the pros respond to them, and like, are they actually as good as they are? Can they respond, and can they get better items? Can they rebuild? Can they do something different to stay as good as they are, or are they just completely dependent on these stackable items,
being complacent in how things are?
If we look at like the numbers for the, I mean, if we look at like just the picks for, let's say, Denial Cog today, we see the Weakening Curse nerf. Is healing scary? Is I guess what you have to say. And you look down the board, and basically neither team picked really any healers. They had the Guan Yu support, or they had the Guan Yu solo. Second game they had the Guan Yu solo, Sylvanas, still gods we already saw. So the reality of the situation is neither of these teams picked Aphrodite or Hel or Ra. So I don't know if they adapted fast enough, or if that's just maybe they're just still not good.
Well, and with the Guan Yu pick, I mean, he got a major buff anyway, aside from the Weakening Curse. So, I mean, you can always attribute it to that anyway.
Yeah, Guan Yu. What was Guan Yu's change exactly? I forgot.
The big one is he now builds his passive off of doing damage instead of just taking damage.
Okay.
So you don't have to be beat up to be able to heal somebody. And then they improved the slow on his Warrior's Will.
Okay. Well, that's pretty good buffs.
Well, I will mention that during the COG Denial game, you didn't see a whole lot of healers other than Guan. But during the Epsilon Myrmidons game, you did see Aphrodite go 11-0.
Yeah.
And pretty
Well,
much
that's the thing. I, from my point, I mean, I'm looking at those numbers now. We got Sayo doing pretty okay on Hell with his team feeding.
yeah.
That's pretty impressive. And you got the Ra on one team 0-7, the Afro on the other team 11-0. But I would strongly suggest that the healers will be coming back as probably by the end of Sunday, when teams have had a little bit more time to experiment. There'll be a lot more healing, and like you said, with the Guan Yu buff, it's going to be seeing a lot more play in solo and support. So,
and I guess now is the time to do the changes so people can get their strats and everything ready for the actual finals. And everything. So I can imagine it in a marketing perspective. Once you get there, they probably want people playing as many different things as possible, and make it exciting.
The hardest thing is, like I kind of touched on this. They look at the blink item changes, fix an issue of camera, where that's obviously not a change. So at some point between now and January, I hope they change blink. But if they do, then it's going to be a big shake-up again for the competitive scene, because all these teams are running 4 blinks, and every time you see a jungler, they have blink now. You bash that blink, 4 blink, you have everyone blink. So that's going to be a big change. I think that might actually happen, but I think the community wouldn't be mad about it.
Yeah, and that's when we'll see on April Fool's Day when they say they removed it from the game.
All right, I'll streamline these items. Okay, so we've got Mail of Renewal. This item's crazy now. It's insane. It's just giving so much health and mana per kill. You also activate on objectives, so you get them on the FG, Gold Fury, and even the Juggernaut in Siege, which is pretty crazy.
Just the wild, or on the lane ones too?
I think just the middle one.
Okay.
I don't know. It doesn't specify. It says etc. So I think it might mean the bosses that spawn in lanes. Doesn't really say. They're probably not worried about Siege, but yeah.
Such detail.
It's a lot of healing, and with some characters who have the healing with the weakening cast nerf, it actually is kind of insane on the support characters. And I saw Incon going like 12-0 and 20 with the new character with the regen, and yeah, another pretty significant change, but one I don't mind. I think it's a pretty unique item, and I like to see it. It's not bad. So
very cool. Well, and I mean, I think we hit the major stuff in the patch. Unless there's something anybody else want to get to, we kind of even hit the Agnes hot topic a little bit.
Yeah, that was going to be Weakening Curse. So
oh really?
Yeah.
So my bad.
That was going to be the big debate
perfect
for the night.
Oh,
see, I don't have to talk about it. That works out great. we can debate Assault versus Arena. No, okay. Maybe we should just call it a night then. No, well, anyway, anybody have anything they want to say to people in the chat, in the world, people listen to the show before we go? No.
The chat's going crazy about the whole Myrmidons team comp that they picked during today, so it was a little bit oddball for sure.
Well, that and our captain Taco is running around in there starting trash too, so
Yeah, I mean, the Myrmidons are an interesting team because they look like they had all this potential, and then all of a sudden they just replaced one of their players, and they haven't had very much success. They have had some hard games though, but yeah, I feel like the magic of Morgao seems to have died a bit.
Yeah,
he seems to have fallen off, and hopefully they can kind of find that back again, and he can get some of his lane pressure back and help those guys get a bit more success. But yeah, hard matchup.
So with all the changes that have happened early in this SPL now, who's call it now? Who's gonna win the SPL?
Wait, who's gonna win Worlds?
Who's gonna win SPL and who's gonna win Worlds?
So the NASPL, I'm pretty sure that AFK are gonna win. I'm just gonna and I think the EUSPL, the LAN, I think Paradigm are gonna win. I don't think Epsilon are going to do good on LAN. I'm going to be
Okay.
YOLO about it. I haven't. None of them have really ever done anything on LAN. You know, like Rafa's been to LAN. I didn't have much success with Mortality. Emilito was on that team, I believe, and he also had a bit of a hard time. Yamin and Adapting haven't been to LAN, and Dimmy, I believe he's been to a LAN. I can't actually remember though. He may have been to a LAN, but I just wonder how they're going to do. And I think they're really dominant right now, but most of the time the EU dominant team struggles at LAN. So it's basically once they get head to head with Fnatic and Fnatic start shouting at them and they get in your heads a bit, it can be quite hard to play. And on the other side, on NA, I think it goes the same a little bit because AFK are just so dominant, you know. But they haven't won LAN in a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Very cool. Well, everybody go to youtube.com/suntouch9, I believe. Is that correct?
That's right. Thanks.
Subscribe, and on Twitch, it's twitch.tv/suntouch.
Yeah.
Is that correct? Okay. Want to make sure you get all this. Anything else you want to tell people to send them to and look at and holler about?
I'm good, man. I'm
good?
happy. I'm happy.
Well, we definitely appreciate you staying up. Is it staying up late or getting up early for the show? I know it was one of them.
Staying up late right now.
Staying up late.
Yeah.
So we definitely
I appreciate
appreciate it, and hopefully we won't see you in any matches because you'll kick our ass.
Oh,
So, but maybe we'll be on the same team. That'd be fun.
That would be fun. Yeah.
And thank you for just being on the show this week.
That's okay, man. No problem.
yeah, thanks.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys for having me. It was fun.
And with that, that's Lincoln Bob, Bitburner, Raging Karen,
Just call me Raging. That's
Raging
what everybody
Cajun.
does.
I can't say it. I'm Brent Copeland, and this has been another On Smite. Y'all come back next week.
Ciao.
Bye.
Fuel for the fire!
I don't really know what happened there. Some weird buttons played some stuff.
Well, there we used the hot topic bumper after all.
Obvious.
It's all good.
Nice job!
Well, that's the end.
Nice job.